little break from action at the moment, 3-4 weeks. How important has it been using that period you talked about?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of two parts really. Is one is getting some bodies on deck. Two is, I suppose we always knew we had those rearranged fixtures from the previous situation where we were quarantined, and I understand how other regions and clubs are looking at quite a lengthy period now without games. So, but I do have in the back just this third piece of what's going on in the world at the moment. This 2 weeks been a real challenge for everybody. And those three things for us have made it an opportunity just to probably freshen up in this environment, ready for what is pretty grueling run for us through a period when our Six Nations guys are away. And then I suppose I'm still like everyone else, just what is the end? How does this season come to its conclusion? We've got to bear that in mind, and this window of now has to be something that we just take stock and prepare for what it might be. I mean, we went through the Derby period with some pretty significant figures missing, and I think it went so quickly. We went from what Glasgow feeling really good to a COVID situation which just changed all of the European experience, to a situation where suddenly numbers on deck were, and nobody's planned. You lose 7 or 8 players, suddenly people are playing more, training more or whatever, and suddenly it just changed on us where we were really checking numbers of availability rather than looking at where's our best team looking from. So this period definitely we'll certainly get maybe 4 or 5 of those guys who are in the ground, give them a good grounding, which is important, because that piece is what the next 7 weeks looks like. If we rush Jordan in without a decent grounding, what's the chances of him getting through those 7 weeks? Probably, a challenge where we've probably got our fingers crossed under the table. With a good grounding, we can at least set off with a lot more confidence. We're still challenging ourselves. We don't know what the qualification is for Champions Cup. We were so disappointed that it wasn't the experience we wanted it to be. So we've got to get back. We know that the Derby period hurt us over that period in terms of where we are. So we've got to get something back in this period if we're going to be serious about that being a target for us. So certainly games during this period, the games, I forget, it was such a long period. We played Cardiff over Christmas and it was only our 3rd game at home. So it's just been bizarre in terms of how this season has mapped out. But now we know what the next 7 weeks are, and we've got to put some pressure on ourselves to do well in that. I just felt we missed, playing fully loaded, full of confidence. I remember that first game against Wasps. Tactically, I felt our bench was ready to come off. They were not as strong as us coming off the bench. I just felt in a really good place, and it just went in like 24 hours. I mean, we're talking Friday night, Saturday morning when it started to. So that period, I just really would have wanted them to make. On any development journey, there are some key stones that you remember that game. And I just had that feeling it was going to be one of those, and then suddenly it went away from us. And so definitely we went into a different space, which was about getting some people back and looking. And now we've got to make this next 6 or 7 games something where we remember and we look back and we say what we did during that period. So that's the challenge for us now. We want to get better, and getting better means we've got to play some people that are further down the line than us. We've never shied away from that. We never sort of pretended it was any different. We just didn't get that. So we got a different experience, and we got some youngsters who got a chance to play on a pretty big stage. But we never got that experience for what we wanted, where we were at that time. So we definitely want to do it again.